What is that? Live video. There you go. 1, 2, 3 live. Alright. We are live and we are hiking. Let's turn you guys around. 1, 2, 3. We are going on a neat little night hike tonight. Hey Sandy, hey Tadine, how's it? How's it everybody? What's blocking my light? Oh. There we go. Hey Leilani, how's it? Basically, I don't want no string snipers again, so I'm not staying at the fire. Hey, thanks for all the likes, Denita. I don't know why it's not muffled. I'm not talking loud though. I'm talking kind of quietly. You cannot hear my heavy breathing. Put me out of shape. Whew. Hey everybody. Alright. I cannot disclose my location tonight. And there's going to be a few times that I turn the cameras down and around. I don't want to film this place. We're going to be walking through today. Hey Austin, how's it? Brenda, how's it? Hey, Big Mike. Whew. Okay. So there was a place I really wanted to go check out. It looked like a really good camping spot. That's where I'm going to go set up. And maybe, just maybe, I'll take you guys down to the river too. And only me tonight, yeah. No more Matt. I think Matt's going to jump on the wagon in a little bit. He had obligations. Which is why I chose to go hiking. I don't like deal with the kind of people. I'd rather deal with ghosts. Then that comes up so I can deal with people. One of us can. Still muffled on YouTube. the likes, you guys, on TikTok. Mahalo. This place is sacred. Very special. Hey, thanks for the follow. We'll flip them around now. Hey, Joy. One, two, oh, let me show you guys real fast. Good fun. You got rock wall over here. This looks like a it looks like a perimeter wall. Back from the old ancient days. The wall continues around here. And just, yeah, continues straight back. Oh, I wanted to clarify one thing too. Hey, I wanted to clarify something I said last week. Last week was kind of weird. Yeah, so I think you know where I am, boy. So last week was kind of weird. I don't know why. It was just kind of weird energy. I did want to apologize. I said the wrong word. When I was talking about Jubu, my friend, I used the wrong word and said, aloha. Yeah, I said he was my protege, and it could not be further from the truth than that. So I consider myself to be his. This guy knows much more than me. I just wanted to clear that off real fast. That did not come from the right place, and I did not use the right word, you know. So my apologies. And also, for some reason, I noticed myself last week at 13 Turns. I got into a different mode. When I tell stories, typically I just tell stories, and it doesn't even think, because I've done it so much, it just kind of flows out of my mouth, you know. Last week, I did notice, listening to the video again, that there's a lot of different details and stuff, which, you know, yeah. For those of you who have heard me tell the stories like 100 times, yeah, that's, it might be a little inconsistent there. I don't know why I did that. I do remember my old boss with the ghost tours telling me, you need to take a story and make it your own and change some things. We're keeping true to the heart of it. Like, for example, instead of saying, I walked down the road and saw a ghost, right? I would say something like, the wind was blowing me away, the moon came out from behind the clouds, and everything fell silent, you know, that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that it can add a little bit, but then you saw the ghost, right? But that's just a little bit of storytelling thing, so to make it more interesting, yeah. I try not to. In fact, most of the times when I do it knowingly, I will tell you guys, hey Melody, how's it? Troy, how's it? So aloha kupuna, aloha i'i, aloha to the spirits. My name is Joe Unohu, and I would like to walk through the area so I could find a certain place to sit down and set up and tell stories. I would like to do so with your permission. I'd like to walk with you, not against you. If for some reason tonight is not a good night, just let me know and I'll turn around. But I acknowledge that this is your area, and I'm asking humbly for the privilege and the blessing to walk through. With that said, ooh, that is real quiet. With that said, na kupuna, na ali'i, mahalo. don't know why. When I stop walking and I sit down, I guess I'll take the cover off the phone. I don't have the cover on my Facebook though. How about hey Dom? I don't have. Am I having problems on TikTok? Oh no, how's it? How's it? Kainoa, I'm not in a place that I cannot disclose. Just because the people who take care of this, I hold it very, very high regard and respect. And they prefer to not have this place become well known. It makes it harder to malama, harder to take care of it. And so with their wishes, I'm not going to disclose where we at tonight. How about now? Can you guys hear me now? Is this better? Hold on. How about now, YouTube? Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm gonna drop one phone. Whoop. Wait. How about now? Up, up, up. Okay, so yeah. I had the microphone covered. My bad. Hey, thank you, Pono. Appreciate it, brother. This place is a very special place. I absolutely love coming here, daytime, nighttime. I believe where we're walking, that this over here was the remains of an old heiau. Let's see if we can see this. The moon up in the sky. Oh, wow. I'm sorry, Facebook. Facebook is junk. Yeah. Hey, Scott, I can see you. Oh, sorry, this guy. I'll say it again. Last week, I did a live at 13 Turns. I mistakenly called Jubu my protege, and I wanted to apologize for that because he's by no means, I used the wrong word. I consider him to be much more knowledgeable than me, and the wrong word came out, and I just didn't want to, I wanted to correct that. Yeah. Oh, this bugger. Okay. Aloha, aolipilikia, mahalo. So yeah, and last week I was telling stories, and as I said, as I tell stories, sometimes my brain kind of goes off, and the stories kind of tell themselves. And I noticed that I had switched up some details in the stories and added new details, and when I was listening to it again. So I wanted to let you know, I don't know why I did that, but I just kind of rode with it, apparently. Yeah, I know you guys have heard it 100 times. Or like, wait, he's telling it different this time. I don't know why. I don't have an excuse. I just did. Oh, mean. So yeah, that's what I said. If I need any help, I go to Jubu, because Jubu has much more experience than me. Jubu is very, very Akamai, and I didn't want it to sound like I was saying I'm more Akamai than him. No, not at all. Not even a little bit. My friends, I respect them a lot. Jello, Jubu, all of them, you know. They are a huge part of how I can do this with their shared experiences and all of that. We just do a good job together. Yeah. So this was the area I wanted to go camping in. Whew. Yeah, I'm by myself. No more Matt tonight. Hey Neil, hey Van, how's it? Aloha. No more Matt tonight. So that's why I'm not just sitting at the car, because I don't like to deal with people without Matt. Yeah. The other night was a little bit too much for me a couple weeks ago. Not that I'm afraid, but I might be. I don't know. I just don't want to hurt somebody. You know what I mean? Because I'm startled. I'll tell you, ghosts don't play phone ringtones in the bush. You know. You know what? We go to the river. This place is nice, but I'm pretty sure the river is better. Maybe it's another 5 minutes. Yeah. Yep. Could be another portal. Hey Keith, how's it? How's it? What area we at today? I cannot disclose the area. The people who take care of the area I respect too much, and they wish to not have this place exposed, so I'm not going to show it, and I'm not going to tell you guys where I'm at. I was here in the daytime. I wonder if I'm going to get lost at night. Oh, this place is totally different now. Wow. Oh. Ole Pilikia, aloha, coming through. I would like my permission to go down to the river and sit down at the waterfall and talk story. With your permission, of course. If you want me to leave, let me know and I'll turn around and go away. Oh, Scott, you missed that one. We had a stream sniper that was like blowing conch shell around us and making noise and stuff. And I don't want people to jump out at me. There was one point where there was a ringtone directly next to us. It wasn't scary, like boo scary. It was scared to me that somebody had gotten that close. And if I had swung or used whatever defensive measures that I have, somebody could have really gotten hurt. And I'm not about that. Nah, it's a sign to me that I shouldn't be disclosing my location every time I go out. If people want to come and hang out, they can shoot me a message or one of my moderators, and I'm fine with it. I by no means, except for tonight, I'm hiding where we go and what we do. But, bro, I don't even know where I am anymore. I'm not going to go ahead and disclose it to everybody. No, we go this way. Thanks, Pono. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, safety first. Then when I get Matt, I get an extra set of eyes and ears, yeah. Over here, only get ghosts, yeah. There's only spirits, there's only ancestors. As I said that, spider web clung to my hand and it felt like fingers trailing on my hand. That was cool. Okay, I know where we're going. Maybe. I hear them. You guys hear them? Hold on. Thank you, moderators. You guys are awesome. So yeah, I'm enjoying every minute of this. Every sweat that drops down my head, I'm absolutely loving it. I just wish that I had brought surf shorts and a towel. Whoa. Now we start the decline. I'm over here thinking, oh, I must be the first person to have found this place. Yeah, that's why I get one path, yeah. Okay. Aole pilikia, aloha. Aole pilikia. Yeah, welcome back from your hiatus, Melody. I now have 3 devices. I have a tablet on Facebook, which the quality is junk, and what I want to do is get a phone. But I'm still paying about almost $500 a month for all my devices. All right. And we're here. Whoop. Hello there. Yeah. Isaac, aloha, my brother. How's it? How's it? Wow, look at all the flowers. This place smells amazing. Ginger. I'm gonna go down there. Last time we was here, and the time we was swimming. Me and my kid, me and my youngest, Matt and his youngest, and Jello. We decided to just walk around and explore. Woohoo! All right. Yeah, this is always awesome. Let me go stick the tripod up. Catch my breath, wipe my sweat, and we'll go ahead and begin some of the stories for the night. You guys can hear me okay over there? Or should I come closer or further away from the water? Icy ponds of Makaha. Woo. The water's being diverted. Oh no. That makes me so sad. It's no good. I love icy ponds in Makaha. I have no idea why I brought a chair. I'm not going to sit on it. You guys good? Hey Andy, how's it? Light the area up a bit. Reservoir there now that feeds Mauna Ola. That's funny. So what do they want with the water, bro? Well, they like make swimming pool. Yeah, that's a good idea, Melody. Thank you. I figured people told me they fall asleep with the sound of my voice anyway, so now you can fall asleep to the river. Aloha kupuna, aloha a'ole pilikia. I'm here to share some stories. This is a lovely place. I have a chair. Never sit down in the chair. Tell them, Mike, come. Maulit. Maulit here. Come, come. I get some snacks too. You guys grab them before I do, huh? They're only gas station snacks, but yeah. Strawberry brownie, and one apple pie. They got my chair set up right next to me. The lights are just so we can see a little bit on the video, yeah? We get sign in. What else I get over there? Oh, did I put them inside? I put them inside. Oh, yeah, right here. Here you go. Help yourself before I do. Yeah. Yeah, and somebody would put that too, yeah? You see the rocks stacked up. I never, it was here when I came here too. I never like touch them, yeah? Hey, how's it? Nope. Actually, I can switch you guys up a little bit. That's kind of... There we go. 1, 2, 3. There you go. I know, Facebook not too good. They call them I'm sorry. I wish I could do better on Facebook. I only get my iPad for the Facebook, yeah. Hey, P-Cakes, how's it? I cannot disclose this location. They call them mine. Yeah, Pono, I don't really feel too good about that. I don't feel good that that gated community stops a lot of the locals from actually seeing Kaneaki Heiau. That Kane Heiau is just beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love it. Yeah. Cohen, how's it? 808. How's it? How's it? Yeah, solo mission. You know, I wish it was more accessible to everybody. Yeah. You cannot make one Heiau not accessible, you know. But then the people who take care of them, the kahu, they prefer it that way too. So I understand, you know. You cannot argue with the kahu. Huh? I'm pretty sure if we wanted to go, we could call them up and say, hey, could I come and visit and could I teach some of the culture? And they'll open them up for, you know what I mean? But Mumbai, you get the kind of homeless people and stuff, yeah, which happens a lot. Hey, Hiccups, how's it? Belgium. Whoa, Cohen. Right on, brother. Or sister. Sorry, I'm still kind of catching my breath, enjoying the vibe down here. The rocks up there that you guys can see that are stacked up on the right side, that is, that's not Hawaiian practice as far as I know. I mean, it could be in a lot of things, and I cannot say how and why it was done like that, yeah? But I can tell you what I was taught is you don't do that. You don't go to a place that's not yours and take rocks that are not yours and stack them, because as you stack them, it's an offering, yeah. But The rock's not your the likeke, the pohaku. The rocks are not yours to offer. Yeah. So it's like somebody come in your house, wrap up all your DVDs, give them to you as one gift, and say, "Hey, I brought you a present." You know, it's not good. You know what I mean? But it may not be that. It may be a completely different reason. I just don't choose to do that. You know, if I'm gonna bring an offering, I bring an offering. Woo, brah. How you guys doing? And I gotta walk all the way back. That wasn't bad. That was only about what, half-hour walk. Yeah, not bad. Give me another couple minutes, and then we'll go ahead and start sharing some stories, huh? Some ghost stories. Yeah, yeah. I can sleep here. I just love the sound of running water. It's fantastic. I just love it. Those stackings cause ecological problems. It causes too. Yeah, you're right. Hey, it's a long weekend, yeah. 3-day weekend. Oh, happy Aloha Friday, by the way, everybody. I might go over to the trail that I like to go to, Judd Trail. Oh, I like to tell you guys something too. It's good fun. I like to go over there, and I like to tell, just hang out and teach a lot of the people who come to visit the area how to properly show respect for the area. Yeah, because a lot of people like to show respect, but they don't know how. Yeah, so I can go and I can show them how to properly show respect and all of that kind of stuff. Today, I won't tell you exactly where, but at my job, I had to go to a house that was on Dr. James Morgan's estate on Morgan's Corner. Which to me just completely hyped me up and amped me up. I saw the address and I'm like, Old Pali Road. Oh, no way. I pulled it up on the map. I'm like, oh no, this place is literally where Dr. James Morgan lived. This place is Morgan's Corner right here. And the family that I helped had lived there from the 1950s. Yeah. So they knew about the crime in the 1940s that had happened over there. The murder of Therese Wilder and all of that stuff. The lady had shared a lot of stories with me, you know. She didn't share a lot of stories with me. I got the impression that I'm in her house and she didn't want to share the stories, and I respect that. But she said that there are a lot of stories and a lot of things that happen over there, yeah. Which was just, yeah. We went over some of the cases. We went over some of the popular stories. She's heard night marchers, all of that kind of stuff. Rowdy, how's it? How's it, Capelli? How's it, everybody? Aloha, aloha. I told her, if you guys ever come at nighttime on Friday, I'm usually the baboose with the lights over there, telling ghost stories. Yeah. She's like, oh, what do you do? What are you doing that for? I'm like, oh, I do it on the internet. I tell ghost stories on the internet for whoever like hear them, and for the spirits and the kupuna and all of that, right? So she loved that. It was cool. All right, we're ready. So, ghost story time. So I used to work for about almost a decade with mentally ill. I started off working in the group homes where they would come out of Hawaii State Hospital when they were deemed to not be a threat to themselves or anybody else. So they would come out into my program, and we would teach them how to reintegrate back into society, right? We would teach them how to proper hygiene, how to cook food, all of that kind of stuff, yeah. How to do chores, how to pay rent, you know, all of that kind of thing. It was a lot of fun. Um, I got to work the night shift, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And so I have a bunch of stories over there as well, you know. This was coming out of doing the ghost tours as a tour guide. I went right into this as a real job, right? a real 9 to 5 or a real 12-hour work shift. Most of the time, it's just maintaining their baseline, helping them cope with the voices in their head or other things and that kind of stuff. Yeah. I noticed when I got there, I was expecting more. I mean, this is a place where it's right by the Hawaii State Hospital, where, man, there are ghost stories there left and right. If you have ever been to or know somebody who's worked at the Hawaii State Hospital, I guarantee you there are tons of stories. I ended my career in the mental health by working for a couple years night shift at the Hawaii State Hospital itself. Yeah, in the halls in every building, right? Is there any activity or experiences outside the WCC bookstore? It's a good question. I've never really been over there, but actually, if I'm thinking correctly, it was in that area where some of the staff had told me that they had seen menahunis, like a menahuni trail going Mauka, yeah, towards Ko'ola Mountains. Like they were driving to park their car, and they just saw a procession of menahuni, and it was right around where the bookstore is, yeah. Not exactly where the bookstore is at Windward Community College, but in the little area over there. So I guess first story, I mean, I have a lot of stories, and they're not all paranormal related, but they're all kind of cool. Maybe I'll get into maybe I'll get into some of the other ones that aren't really paranormal related, because they really change the way I see things and my perspective and all of that stuff too. Yeah. There was a night I was working with my coworker, brother Sean, and Sean was a real quiet guy. Yeah. So let me paint the picture. Yeah. I have a house of 8 people behind me. He has a house of 8 people behind him. The reason why they're behind him is because we share the garage. The garage is the common area. The garage is where the 24-hour staff is. And so the safest way we could do it, so our backs aren't facing anybody, is to actually have my back facing the entry door to the garage, which was covered, right, and had windows, and his back facing the garage, because we always had to be in the chair. And so I would watch his back and he would watch my back. And then there was a driveway, right? It was kind of funny because it was literally the garage / driveway. So our rolling chairs all night, all 12 hours, would just slowly start rolling down the little ramp of the garage. Yeah? But that's where we had the fridge, the tables, the TV, all of that kind of stuff. That was the common area. So one night, I brought a movie to watch because we used to like watching movies. I had never seen this movie before. It was called The Exorcist. Yeah, I never seen that movie before. This might be around 2014 or 15. And so after everybody went to sleep, it was about maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, and Sean is like, "Hey, you brought a movie, yeah?" I'm like, "Yeah." "You really want to watch it? Kind of scary, yeah?" I thought. He's like, "Oh, yeah. He's like, "Yeah, let's watch it. Let's put it on. Let's watch it." So I'm like, "All right, cool." So we're now facing down the garage, yeah? We're facing down the garage where the TV is, and we're watching The Exorcist. And like, there's windows. It's all enclosed, but they all have these screen windows, right? Big enough where you can see if anybody is walking, if anybody is there, And so as we're watching the movie, at one of the scary points, when she's coming down the stairs and blood comes out of her mouth, and I noticed where I was just really intent in that, watching the TV, being like, what the hell am I watching? And we watched, I saw out of the corner of my eye behind Sean, somebody come out of his house. Must have been about 6 feet tall, this big white shape come out of his house and walk to the backyard. And we have no view of the backyard, so I'm like, oh wait, hold on, I paused the movie, and I'm like, somebody came out of the house, and he's like, what? So he locked the door, yeah? He closes the door behind him to the house, and he locks the door. And so we looked, the door was closed, and it was still locked, and it's like, okay, and I'm walking around, and I'm looking, and there's nobody there, but I swear to God, I saw this guy, like, must have been 6 feet tall. I didn't see a guy, but I saw this, like, a silhouette of a person, 6 feet tall, big and white, just come out the door and walk behind the house. And so after I ran around the house a couple times and convinced myself that nobody was there, I might have been seeing things. We pressed play, continued watching the movie. And it was right at the ending part of the movie when everything was reaching its crescendo, where right where the TV is, me and him both saw, looked at, not out of the corner of our eye, directly in front of us, there was this that same figure, and it walked from the right to the left. Oh, I heard the conch shell. Loud and clear. Oh, I get chicken skin all over my face. Let me finish the story. We saw that white figure, 6 feet tall, walking from the right to the left. Yeah. And we watched it walk, start on the right. It walked a good 10 feet behind the TV and came out the other side and then disappeared. And at that point, Sean just turned around he just turned around, opened up his laptop and went straight to his laptop. Never said a word to me the rest of the night. And I'm like, bro, you never see that? And I got up and I started running around, and he didn't want to say nothing. You know what I mean? Oh, bro, what was that? Aloha, kupuna, aole pilikia. Would you like me to move? Could you let a tree shake or something if you want me to move or leave? That will work for me. There's somebody else here now. Wow. Wow, what is going on? Oh, aloha. I saw a YouTube video, Troy says I saw a YouTube video about the poltergeist house that's now available for short-term rent after the last owner passed away in the master bedroom. Oh boy. Yeah, Melody, no more Matt tonight, just me. No run, yeah? Oh my god, ghost, I am leaving. No run, because then they go follow you, huh? Pono, something weird happened the other day. I woke up exactly at 3 a.m. Oh wow. Oh, I missed it too. As long as you don't wake up at 3 o'clock or 3:33 every night and you hear like stuff tapping on the door or something in threes, I think you're good, bro. That's the witching hour, huh? Unstable connection. What's going on? I don't know. Did you guys hear that conch shell, or was that just me? If I were to guess, that must have been at least, at most, 50 yards away. And I just had chicken skin all over my face when that happened. Wow. Because you see, there's a road behind me, further down, maybe about a mile. But there's nothing in front of me. There's just mountains, yeah? Oh, aloha. I hear clicking noises now. You felt some energy, Jamie or Jamie? Oh, brah. You heard the wind blow. There was no wind. Jamie, right on. I walked half an hour away from the road, so, you know, this is a prankster. Brother gotta be committed, huh? And I don't mean committed like the mental hospital committed, yeah? But yeah, maybe that too. Oh, sorry, got this. My heart is beating fast because I can feel them here, yeah? I don't know who it is. I don't feel that they're bad, but I don't... Let me do protocol again, yeah? Jamie, I cannot say where I am. I'm sorry, I cannot say where I am. So I'm hearing somebody walking around over here. I figure you guys like see the waterfall better, yeah? Oh, bro, this is cool. I gotta say, I love pushing my limits. Yeah, I love pushing my limits, and I'll tell you this: this is pushing my limits tonight. Yeah, I think so too. Golf, aloha. I'm from. Oh, yeah. You know what? Let me do that. Golf just says, "Where are you from?" So aloha. My name is Joe Punohu. This is the spirits over here as well. I'm introducing myself. I come from Kaneohe. I'd like to ask permission to be in the area for tonight and just share some stories, share some olelo and some personal experiences. This device in front of me, these are phones where I can reach many, many, many other people, and they don't have to come here, yeah? They can see it right over here through my device, and that's why I'm doing it with this. This is what my devices do. And the lights are for their enjoyment, yeah? So I like, once again, to ask permission to be in the area. That's my only purpose here tonight, is to tell stories. If the stories start bringing energy here that is not welcome, or if you would like me to leave here, I will. You just gotta let me know, okay? And the way to let me know, the best way would be to move a tree in front of me in the light. That way I can see it, and I don't doubt it, okay? I appreciate it. Mahalo. Hungry all time. I don't think you want them to come and do that. I gotta say that a part of me is very interested in that. Thank you, Uilani. But I don't want to taunt. I don't want to challenge. I don't want to make them jump through hoops. I come here into their area, and that is more than enough. You know, these are my ancestors, and I feel like my grandma. I gotta do stuff that my grandma not gonna kick my okole for. You know what I mean? If I do something stupid, grandma will come slap me upside my head. That's kind of my standard over here, right? Try be pono, try do good. Because if not, one of my grandma or one of my aunties will gonna come over here and kick my okole. Yeah, that guy was. Yep. We got good moderators. I need moderators for TikTok as well, but so far we no more problems on TikTok. Yeah. If anybody on TikTok that I know is interested, just let me know. Type it in chat, and I'll see what I can do. I'm not even sure how to do it, but I can figure them out. Next story. The house I used to work at, of course, there's all that other kind of stuff too. Yeah, don't worry. Hold on, let me see something over here. There you go. So I guess for moderators, we just look for people that are harassing, people that are saying words that we're not allowed to, that kind of thing, yeah? So thank you, Jamie and Pono. I appreciate it. Oh, you got TikTok tarot cards. Oh, Melody, right on. How do I, Melody? Yeah. Some of my coworkers were talking about you. I was talking about getting a non-lethal way to protect myself. And they were like, oh, you gotta go to this place, Chaos Inc. over in Kaneohe by Ross and Foodland. You gotta go over there. They get one real cute girl working over there. And so I put up your picture on Facebook. I'm like, this one. So they're like, oh yeah, that's the one. They're like, oh, I gotta tell Melody that. She gonna love that. Yeah. Apparently a bunch of them have been there already, and they've bought stuff like pepper spray and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, Chaos Inc. is awesome. They have a lot of ways to protect yourself. Okay, let's see. And no, I'm not sponsored by them, but Melody, you should talk to your boss. I'm just kidding. um, wow, this energy is cool. All right, so there was a night where, this is kind of one of those scary story. This is kind of a scary. When it happened, it would sound scary to a lot of people, but it actually wasn't scary to me, and I'll tell you guys why in the story, right? This actually happened in the daytime. So it was in the late evening, right? The light, it was still sunlight outside. Maybe it was about 6:30 or so, and it was still light. So I would walk down because the place is no smoking, yeah. And I smoked at the time. So the guys at the house, the residents, if they wanted to smoke or if the staff wanted to smoke, we had to walk all the way down to a smoking area at the bottom of the hill, off of the main property, right? And so they had a little cattle gate over there. They had a bucket where you could put your cigarette butts in. Some people brought chairs, that kind of stuff for them to hang out. Yeah, Melody. Sorry. Um, and so I went down there it must have been, I think it was just getting dark kind of, right? So the sun was setting a little bit. It was getting dark. And I go down over there, no big deal, get lights everywhere. You know what I mean? Street lights and that kind of stuff. So I go down there by myself and I'm smoking a cigarette, and right next to me, I hear this loud, lizard. I hear this how the lizards go. I heard a loud lower, and it was just slow. And I'm looking around me. There's nothing around me. There's nothing where anything can hide. There's a pole and there's a cattle gate and everything else is grass and road. There's nothing around me, right? I'm like, what the hell? There's nothing around me at all. Zip. And I'm like, all right, that's kind of weird. And then I heard it again. And I'm like, all right, I think it's time to go. And so I put out my cigarette and I started walking up. But me, I don't run, yeah. I was getting a little apprehensive. I started walking up back to the house. And as I started walking up to the house, I heard these echoes behind me. These footsteps behind me, echoing, right? And I thought, okay, it's just my shoes echoing, right? So, whenever I take a step, you would hear the echo. I never noticed that before. So, I stopped walking to see if the echo stopped. And guess what? They didn't. They kept going, and they kept going. I stopped walking, and then you kept hearing doom, doom, doom. And I'm like, brah, okay, there's something over here. So I started walking a bit faster. As I'm walking back to the house that I work in, there's an abandoned house on my right that's all boarded up and get tea leaf plants all around them, overgrown. The grass is growing on the roof kind house. You know what I mean? And so as I reach that house, I start to feel my right side go numb. My right side's, my arms started tingling, and I could feel something pulling me up towards the house that I'm walking towards. Something is telling me, hurry up. You know what I mean? And so I hurried up. I started running. And as soon as I stepped under the awning of my house, it's the second I stepped right under the roof of the house I worked at, there was just a torrential downpour. And I'm like, whoa, not even the kind drizzle a little bit. No, this was just buckets of rain, just brah. I was tripping out. I'm like, wow. And I was just smiling because I knew what was going on. I told my coworker what was happening, and as I was telling my coworker what happened, I'm all excited, and they're looking at horror, like something was following you. What the hell was that? And I'm like, it occurred to me that they were scared. But what had happened was, I was at the smoking area. The spirits, the ones that watch over me, knew it was going to start raining. And so they tried to scare me out. They tried to tell me time to go. And then when I wasn't walking fast enough, they were trying to scare me. And then when I was too stupid to run, they grabbed my arm and started pulling me faster and faster and faster, yeah. And so, just in time, as I stepped under there, yeah, that torrential downpour came up. A lot of people could interpret that as scary or terrifying. I didn't. I interpreted that as my guardians watching over me, yeah, protecting me. It's a great site to check out after the stream. What you talking about, Troy? Yeah. Which stream? Oh, Pearl City Culture Center also has footsteps follow your pace sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, at the state hospital. I mean, at the state hospital. So we were on the grounds of the state hospital, right? So the security guards, when they would come by, they talk story with us sometimes. And I would notice, only had one guy, we called him the chief, yeah? He was the only one that was there. We would watch people come in and go, like the same night, yeah? And so the guy would tell us he has a lot of security guards that start, and they don't even last one shift at Hawaii State Hospital, yeah? Too many things happen. Doing your rounds by yourself, you hear something chasing you. You hear these heavy boot steps across the grass running at you. You know, that kind of stuff. Just, you hear voices, you see things, you know, it's like every night kind of thing, right? So you gotta be a different kind of person in order to be a security guard. One of the stories he shared me was really, really cool. He said he was watching all the cameras, right? He was watching all the cameras, all the live feeds at like maybe like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, yeah. And as he's watching the okay, that is the sound of a car. Wow, far. Yeah, Pono, that's the one. Hawaii State Hospital, the one in Kaneohe, the mental facility, the mental hospital. They were watching all the cameras, and they saw in one of the cameras in one of the units, and I worked in the unit too, so I kind of know a little bit about it. They saw the staff sitting on the couch watching TV, middle of the night, you know, whatever to stay awake, right? But then they saw the staff, 2 other staff sitting on the couch, and 3 other patients sitting on the floor watching TV. And so he called up. He's like, "Hey, the patients, they're supposed to be in bed, yeah?" And so you know, he called up the security guard that walks around. He's like, "Hey, go over there. Go tell them that the patients, they gotta go to bed. They need to be in bed. They're not allowed to watch TV at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning." And so the guy comes over there, and the camera shows the security guard now. So the guy that's telling me the story that was watching the cameras, he sees the security guard walkie-talkie him. He's like, "Okay, boss, I'm here. I guess they went to bed already." He's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Only get the staff watching TV." The guy looking at the cameras saw 3 people on the ground and watched them move, watched them shift themselves, scratch themselves. He said the boss lived over like close to the hospital, so he got the boss on the phone. Hold on. And he called the boss, and he had the boss look and verify because they were going back and forth. They're going back and forth. He's like, "No, he's like, "No, there's nobody here." And then the guy watches the camera, is like, "Brah, they're right there in front of you." And the guy's like, "No, there's only 2 people here." They asked the staff. The staff is like, "No, everybody is sleeping." But they're watching these guys moving around. You know, the boss came over and verified. He's like, "No, there's 3 people on the ground right now." The guy's like, "Nope, there isn't. I'm looking at it right now. What do you want, a picture?" You know, but this was before cell phones and stuff, yeah? And the boss is like, "You know what, never mind." And he went home, went back to sleep. He's like, "Nope, I'm not dealing with this. No more ghosts over here. This place is this place, nothing." That was the same building that had the furnace, yeah? Where they would, the crematory. I want to say, so I can look them up, but I don't like to take my tablet out. The state hospital over there, in their crematory in the 1970s, they found the unclaimed remains
of about 667 people. Think about that number. If I'm correct, and if I can remember it correctly, 667 people had died at Hawaii State Hospital before 1970, and nobody came to claim their remains, right? So you go to Hawaii Memorial, the graveyard, and they were all reinterred at that place over there, and they have a ceremony once a year to honor the people who are buried inside of there, right? What a horrible, horrible feeling. But that's where the crematory was, in that building where that happened. In that same building, one of the staff had shared a story with me. It's always safety protocol, right? We got to do room checks every hour. Every single hour, at the top of the hour, you do a safety check. Two of you, right? You walk in, you open the door, you shine the light in the people on the people to make sure that they're accounted for and that they're in their bed, and then you mark them off on the paper. The girls' room, however, is different. The girls' room is always locked, so you would have to unlock the door, yeah, and then you shine the light on them to make sure they're sleeping. One of the girls told me that she went there with her male staff member, and as they opened up the girls' room, shining the light, one of the girls, was sitting up at the edge of the bed, facing her. Like, head bent down, hair covering the face kind, but not really all of it, enough where they could see the features of the girl, and it was the girl in the room. It was the patient, right? They saw her sitting at the edge of the bed in a real freaky way, and then the light shifted a little bit, the flashlight, and they saw her sleeping on the bed as well. They closed the door and they never went back into that room for the rest of the night. Yeah. that because they walked me through it. They were like, come, come, come. I show you the room where that happened. So it was some kind of doppelganger or something else that looked like her that was just sitting at the edge of the bed, waiting, kind. You know what I mean? I'm like, brah, that's just so creepy, man. Oh my god. Hey, Demonica, how's it? How's it? I was offered a job as a security guard, but I'm like, nope. I was a security guard for over 15 years. I worked many different places and seen many things. Oh, wow, yeah. I was the guy at the Hawaii State Hospital that got assigned to one person most of the time. And so I'd have to watch them sleep, yeah. And then if somebody would push their panic button because they're panicking, I would have to run over there and tackle the person. Yeah, that was my job. Battery level. The iPhone not doing good, bro. 41%. The Samsung, 41%. 77%. So we'll have to see. One of the other buildings, it was kind of cool. Like, I'm sitting down, and instead of one person, I had to watch over the whole unit, right? Oh, the airport, yeah, that place get plenty. So I had to watch over the whole unit, and this was a little outdoor unit that, of course, was surrounded and all of that. So, like, one room would have like 4 people. They turned the classrooms into dormitories because they ran out of space, right? Hey, mahalo, Sabrina. Thank you. You too. Um, so it's my job to watch the whole unit. So I put my chair in a way where I could see everybody, all the doors, and then I go read my book, while I'm facing that, so I can see when the door opens. The bathroom, they have to walk out of their door, they have to walk into the nursing office, and it's right over there. I can see everything, And so I'm sitting down over there, reading my book. It must have been 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I'm not even sure what time. In the morning, right? So I'm sitting down over there. Hey, Noreen, how's it? And I'm reading my book, and I'm just watching, and out of the corner of my eye, I see the door open, and I see one of the patients go out, and he goes to use the bathroom, yeah? So I see him walk out, he look at me, he wave, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, right on, right on. And he walk over, he go into the bathroom, I watch him go into the bathroom, And I'm like, okay, he's cool. He's compliant. He's right on. I'm not worried about him. So I go back to reading my book, and I see him come out. I see him open the door from the nursing office, and I see him walk back towards the room. But I'm not looking at him because I trust this guy, right? But then I see him walk into the room before his room, into one of the storage rooms. I see him go into the room real fast, and I look up, and I run over there just in time to see the door closing, and I see the fingers, yeah? It's like he's trying to close the door quietly. I see him holding the door and slowly closing it, and slip his fingers inside, and I'm like, oh, this guy, what does he think he's pulling, huh? What is he doing? And so I'm over there, and I open the door. I try to open the door, but I cannot. The door's locked. So I grab my key. I open the door. The whole room is dark. I turn on the light. Nobody. There's only wheelchairs and walkers. There's nowhere to hide. There's nobody there at all. And I'm like, what the hell? I back out, and I'm just kind of looking with my flashlight, and the guy then walks out of the bathroom behind me, and he looks at me. He's like, hey, Joe, what you doing? You good? I looked at him, I'm like, hey, I thought you already came out of the bathroom. He's like, no, I just did now. And he walked back into his room. And I'm like, oh, what did I just see? Like, wow. That I was actually totally stoked. I'm messaging all my midnight friends like, brah, guess what happened, bro? You never guess what just happened. I was like, oh, that was so cool. I saw a ghost, yeah. Pono says, after midnight at work, cleaning the bathrooms, the lights went off, and the automated toilets. No one was here but you. At the airport, huh? Wow. I work at the schools, yeah, for the security alarm company, and I've had some haunted bathrooms over there too. Kind of really weird and awkward. Like, you hear somebody using the bathroom. You hear the pushing, and you hear the plop into the water, and you smell them. And then you look, and nobody's in the bathroom. All the stalls are empty. You open them all up, nobody is there. Like, bro, these ghosts are messing with me, huh? Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. I'm on Oahu. Ah, Demonica, I'm so sorry. It takes a very strong person to do that, though. Yeah. There was kids going into the restroom, but it was empty. Those automated toilets, they sense when there's a body there. Yep. Motion sensor is why, yeah? Nah, our DOE, we cannot afford motion sensor toilets. We're too busy getting air conditioning in every classroom. We are going to do... I feel more wind now. I feel it getting much colder. And as I was telling that last story, I could feel stuff around me. Why do spirits like bathrooms? I don't know. Maybe it's the running water that does energy. I mean, I went to Bobby Mackey's and there was a little boy in the bathroom in the pipes. Hey, Raymond, how's it? I was using the bathroom and I could hear a little boy's voice calling from the pipes. Maybe the bathroom is a place of solitude, yeah? I get many more stories. At some of the other houses, yeah, there was this one house in Kaimuki that I worked at. It was another group home, but these guys were better. I never have to worry too much. Yeah, it was a semi-independent, right? Where, actually, no, it was a 24-hour home, but they were a lot more independent than the other one that I worked at. So I only worked there a couple of times. Yeah, they had a separate office that was separate from everything else. There was its own little room. And so I worked in the office, but like literally you stand up, you take 5 steps and you're outside the office and there's a living room right there. And it wasn't that scary because right by the freeway, yeah, so plenty noise all the time, plenty lights all the time, yeah. So 10 o'clock at night, lights out came. And so, lights out came right on. I went outside, locked up all the doors, did body checks, make sure everybody's sleeping. And turned the TV off because somebody would leave the TV on, yeah? Somebody left the TV on to this, the kind old Korean drama kind, right? And so I'm like, all right, turn the TV off. And then I go back into the room. Not 15 minutes later, I hear the TV turn back on. So I'm like, who the frick is watching TV after lights out? You know what I mean? So I go back outside. No more nobody in the living room. Nobody. And so I turn the TV off again. And I'm like, okay, what the hell? And so I will go back into the office. And I mumble something like, bruh, lights out. You're not supposed to be here, And then maybe about half an hour, I don't know how long the time was actually, so I'm not even going to guess, but I'm sitting in the office on my computer and I hear furniture being dragged around. Heavy tables, couches, chairs, real loud. I hear the furniture just being moved around the living room. And so I run out to see which is the pupuli that's doing this, right? Who's the crazy guy doing this? Nobody's there. No furniture is moved. Nothing. Right? That happened, I think, twice. And then, I think the TV turned on again by itself. This was a while ago, so I forget the exact chain of events. And when the TV turned on again by itself, I think I had the remote with me, yeah? I think that's what happened when the furniture started moving, because I had the remote with me. It occurred to me that this wasn't a resident. This was a spirit. This was an old Japanese lady or an old Asian lady that used to live in that house before it became a group home. So I apologized and I said, okay, you can watch your show. It's fine. Just make sure you turn them off when you're done. And I left the TV on, yeah. By the time I came back out around 5 o'clock and the TV was off. But yeah, you go let the aunties watch their TV shows, yeah, at nighttime. I don't care. It's fine. Not K-dramas, it was Sesame Street was turned off but kept going back on. The staff was locked out of the room. Oh, that's awesome, bro. Oh, the ghosts like Sesame Street. See, that's the fun part. A lot of people, they think kid ghosts are creepy and weird, creepy and scary, and not if they're where they're supposed to be. If they're out of school, they're awesome. You guys, you know what? We go hang out here for a little bit longer. This place is kind of chill, yeah. I just packed everything up. I was gonna go walk back up because it's about a half an hour walk back to the car. Yeah, I kind of felt that. My grandma used to watch the soap operas, yeah. So, hey Phoenix, how's it? There was another house I used to work. That's over Kaneohe side. And that one is one staff all night, right? I had a bunch of stuff happen to me over there. One staff, because it's only 8 people, right? You only need one staff for 8 people. So you basically by yourself. They're all good. All the people are good. They do what needs to be done. They're asleep by 7 o'clock. They take their meds, everything. So before, you start at 6, and then you're basically by yourself from 7 p.m. till 6 a.m., right? And because of some of the people in the house, I didn't feel safe falling asleep, yeah? They're nice people, but there was one guy who, I'll tell you, he was one of the nicest guys I've ever met. This guy was just so genuine. He was bursting with just goodness. Every word out of his mouth had so much aloha in it. But he was there for murdering his parents with a butcher knife several decades ago. Mental illness is no joke. The voices tell you to do stuff and you listen. I noticed a couple times when I would talk to him, he's the kind of guy, he'll come up, hey Joe, how are you doing? I'm like, great, how was your day? Oh, my day was fantastic. I hope your day was as great as mine. He played guitar for church and just a really nice guy. Oh, I cooked some food. I have extra. You want to eat some, Joe? You want to eat some food? I made some steak and I get plenty extra. You know, real nice, genuine guy, and he talks just like that, yeah. Alucard, I've never been here before at on live, so yeah. But there were a couple times when I'm talking to him, and he's in some kind of trance, and he's very angry. But it's like, hey, you gonna take your meds already? What? No, leave me alone. His eyes turn completely black. There's no white to his eyes. And I'm like, you okay or what? And then he just looks at me with those black eyes, and he turns around and walks to his room. And I'm like, don't worry, bro, I'm not gonna follow you. I talked to his case manager, and the case manager was like, oh my God, you saw that too? I'm like, yeah. What is that? Is that a medication side effect or something? She's like, I have no idea what it is, but I've seen it and nobody believes it. You know? And yeah, my coworker was like, oh yeah. When you see him with his black eyes, don't give him anything sharp, yeah? It'll pass. And usually about within half an hour each time it would pass. And he comes back out, he's like, hi Joe. How are you doing? I'm like, good. You okay? He's like, yeah. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but you know, just wanted to say I'm sorry and I didn't mean any of that. Yeah. I'm like, oh dude, don't worry about it, bro. There was one night where I worked at the other house, me and my coworker, we got called to investigate because during the daytime, usually in the month of September, nobody's home, everybody's in their program, and the staff will always see this lady on the second floor walking down the hall towards one of the rooms. And then going into the room, even if the door's closed, disappearing into the door. Like, they see this every year, you know, in the daytime. Around September time or so. And so I decided, whoa, we go investigate, huh? We didn't get anything. I left EMF meters, EVP, I had all the equipment, but I found something interesting, yeah. We had the ghost radar, which was kind of like an obelisk. It says random words. I had my friend Salele. He had his iPad. I had my phone. We both had the meter, the ghost radar on. And so Salele, this guy is hyperactive. Okay, this guy is go. Always talk. Great guy, good friend, you know. And so we're over there and we're sitting down and we use the devices. I use mine. He uses his. We go for a period of a few minutes. And we write down all the words that were said. My device had about 14 words. His device had about 47 or something like that. It just kept going. His device kept going. So we figured, all right, let's go ahead and switch devices, right? So I gave him my phone. He gave me his iPad. And within the same time frame, we wrote down all the words. Mine still only had like 14 or 15 or 16 words, where his had like 42, 40, 45. His energy level was high. I think the way the obelisk works is it takes the EMF and generates the energy into words that are stored on the device, right? And so, yeah, it was interesting watching that happen. So I'm like, okay, I think that's because you get more energy than me, huh? I'm like, all right, so let's, so the three of us, the one that was working at the house, the Wahini, and me and my coworker, Salele, we're like, all right, let's sit down, let's be quiet, and let's think of the first thing that comes to mind. And as soon as I said that, it started raining. And you can hear the rain hitting the roof, right? And so the words that came up were atmosphere, crying, and roof, I think, or something like that. So it was all relevant. And as we continued talking, Salele's one, he wanted to leave. Yeah, he was hungry. He had his dinner waiting at the other house, and so he wanted to leave already. And the words that kept coming up was refrigerator, Italian, pasta, because he had spaghetti. Yeah? I just found that funny. You can trigger. That occurred to me that you can trigger it as well. Yeah, the obelisks and stuff. So when you're gonna use them, you gotta have a quiet mind and like. You know, you gotta kind of know that you gotta kind of control your own energy. Or you might give off false positives, yeah? Yeah, I'll announce it again. I can't say where we are. And there's a point when we're walking back where I'm going to turn the camera around onto me. It's a very special place, and the people who take care of it, who the guys who malama the place over here, they wish for it to remain anonymous, and so I like them. They are very pono, and I will do what I can to respect. I'm not going to that place, but I am walking through that place, and so that's the reason why I don't want to say where I am. Yeah. So yeah, that same house, and I can't say which because HIPAA and all that. Yeah, but that same house, I worked there one night. Um, oh wait, sorry. Back when we were investigating, that's right. When we were investigating that house, I figured out what was going on. So we're all on the second floor. That's where the office was, right? So I went down to the first floor, where the stairs are. It's its own little room, and it's dark, right? So I went down to the stairs, and I sat down over there, and I just kind of, I just sat down and just quieted myself and started paying attention and feeling the energy and just kind of seeing what happens, right? And what was that now? I could feel that was specifically where the ghost was coming from. Under the stairs, yeah? The ghost lived under the staircase. And the reason why she would come out every September is because that's when they took all the decorations out and started decorating for Halloween, started decorating for Christmas, and so everything under the stairs were all moved around, and that's why the ghost would come out, right? But as I'm sitting under the stairs, there's glass jalousies around. That's how their windows were, right? They started shaking, and I think I had asked for a sign if it is a ghost, and the whole house started shaking. It sounded and felt like there was a 747 jet that flew directly overhead within like 100 yards. Like, that's how badly the house shook. And I'm like, brah, it's the kind you ask for a sign, and the whole house and all the glasses and all the jealousies just start shaking. That's like, brah, that's a sign. So I run back upstairs and I'm like, brah, you guys all right or what? And they're like, yeah, why? I'm like, cuz, what the hell was that? They're like, what the hell was what? I'm like, the house was shaking. It was like one airplane. They were upstairs. They heard nothing. There was no sound, no noise, no vibration. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And there's two of them. And they're like, no, we never heard nothing. Yeah? So the last story of that house, I actually get another story, but it's part of a bigger story. I'll just share the little part. Since we're talking about that girl, the lady who haunts the house, right? I had asked my supervisor if she could pull up the record of everybody who stayed in that house and see if there was actually a lady who had died in the house. She wouldn't tell me who it was or when it was or anything like that, but she did find that there was a lady who stayed in that back room on the second floor who had died in a room of a heart attack. Now, so the strangest thing would happen. I'd work with my coworker, Rosalind, sometimes, or she would come and relieve me, or we would talk stories sometimes. She'd work overnight sometimes, right? So she would always lock all the doors. And I understand, you know what I mean? This is a halfway house. There's a lot of people who live in that house who come and go, and they might come back at like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. For me, they don't want people walking in the house. So she would always lock all the doors. For me, I never did that. I never lock the doors because I'm always awake, right? And I hear every noise. I mean, I close them, but I don't lock them. One night, my coworker, Andrew, he's a daytime coworker. He had to be back in 12 hours. He had nothing on his schedule. So he grabbed dinner, came back and hung out with me for my 12-hour shift. Which means he went to bed on the couch at about 10 o'clock at night, right? But he locked everything up. And I'm like, Andrew, what are you doing? He's like, dude, I'm sleeping out here. I'm locking everything up. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't care. I'm on the second floor, right? There's a door that comes up the stairs to the second floor. Kind of right by the office. And so he goes sleep. I don't know what time, maybe about 12 o'clock or so. I hear somebody pounding on the door. I hear the doorknob try open, but he locked it. I hear the doorknob jiggling on the second floor, and I hear somebody pounding on the door, like knock, 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 and then it gets louder, like pound, 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 pound. My coworker wakes up, Andrew wakes up, and he's looking at me. He's like, oh shit, this is the boss, you know. He's like, damn it. He's like, just say that I just got here, because yeah, I was in the area. And I'm like, he's afraid he's gonna get busted because they're not supposed to spend the night up. So I go over there, open the door. The door is pounding, pounding, pounding. The doorknob is jiggling, is like, you know, jiggling like somebody's trying to open them. So I get over there and unlock the door, open the door, and there's nobody there. Nobody. And I look at Andrew. Andrew's like, oh, he's like, oh, it was just the ghost then. I'm like, what you mean just the ghost? He's like, yeah. Rosalind tells me she locks the doors, and every time she locks the doors, somebody comes and knocks on the doors. Same thing all the time, but she just ignores it, yeah. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. It's probably the lady trying to get back into the house. One of the old residents trying to get back into the house. Andrew knew a lot about the stuff. And so Andrew told me after my boss did about the lady that died in there. Right across the room from her is now a double room where we have two residents staying, but it used to be the staff's room. The staff used to live in there, right? And the lady across the hallway from the staff, she had a heart attack. And as she was having a heart attack, she came out of her room and she tried to pound on the door of the staff to get the staff's attention to call 911. But the staff he had left. The staff had left the property and he wasn't there and the door was locked. And so she died pounding on the door and jiggling the door handle. Yeah. So yeah, that's ooh. That all made sense all of a sudden, yeah. Whew, rah, I talk so much I'm getting dizzy. Yeah, Bubba is always a different place aside from his favorite place, Pine Lawn Manor. Yeah. Pine Lawn Manor looks cool. Alright, so you guys ready for holo holo? We go hele. Yep. Let's turn off the lights so we can enjoy how dark this place is. Get you guys up. What is Bubba's purpose for going to Pine Lawn? Pine Lawn. I mean, like, what's his motivation? Does he hope to accomplish something, or is he just over there kind of to collect evidence and stuff, right? By the way, we're talking about Bubba After Dark, or Paranormal Bubba, I forget. But he's a guy that came down here to Hawaii, and I got the blessing of meeting him and Brother Bean. So, once more, aloha to the spirits. Mahalo for allowing me here tonight. Thank you. It was a pleasure. It was a blessing. This place is very special. I love it. We came here one time. Like, we came here in the daytime with my kids, yeah? With just my youngest son, 7, and then Matt's son, 10. Matt's son, 10 years old. And Jello. Jello was over here talking to the kids. Oh, Matt was over here talking to the kids, taking picture. Me and Jello were up over there, and I'm like, bro, I don't say a word. I just toss my shoes off, my socks, take my shirt off, and jump right into this waterfall right over here. Oh, the kids, their eyes would light up. They're like, we're swimming. That's perfect. I'll tell you what, you can lie down over there and enjoy the water that's washing over you. Or you can sit down over here and enjoy the water washing over you. Let's see. Joel, yes, that's it overall. And he has the most everything at Pine Lawn. Yep. Watch your steps and be safe as you walk back to your vehicle. Aloha. Have a nice weekend. Hey, you too, Noelani. Johanna, yeah. It is, oh, the water is so refreshing over here. Jana, how you doing, Mama Jana? Hey, thanks for follow, you guys. Mahalo. Cindy, how's it? How's it? We have been sharing stories for an hour and a half at this little spot. You get the little white gingers everywhere up here too. Beautiful smelling area. Oh, this place is just so wonderful, man, I tell you. But it's about a half an hour walk. All right, and let's go trailblaze back. Hopefully, oh man, I can smell the ginger. Hopefully we don't get lost. Hey, kalamai. Mahalo kia kua. Thank you very much again for the spirits, yeah? Mahalo. Uh, hey, Goose Adventures, how's it? No, Demonica, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Spread the aloha, share the aloha. I love learning about Bubba because he does this way more than I do. I would love, oh man, I would love to go to the continental US and go to one different state every day and investigate one different place every day. Oh, that's my dream, I tell you. Yeah, Jana, I think we have, but not over here. But I cannot say where we are, yeah? Oop. Oop, hello, bamboo. $11 months, huh? Never been to Hawaii, but I deeply hope I can go one day. The magic of those islands is damn near palpable. Yeah. See, Johanna, you gotta come here nighttime. Because you know, I guarantee you come here in the daytime, the same place, get like 20 people swimming in the water, you know. Just get too many people over here. Daytime on the old Pully Road by Judd Trail, which I like to go to, I can easily count 40 cars any given time, any day, parked on the side of the road. Not even parking lot. Whew. Do like Bubba, I love you and Matt are real like that. Yeah. So I love and want to see, and the stories are amazing. Yeah. Let's go find the banyan tree. We can go down, sit down, share more stories. Because the banyan tree is a tree where the spirits are, yeah? Hey, Angel, aloha. And Cindy, I cannot say where I stay. Hey, Burns, how's it? Was that Evie at Pokai Bay, Jana, or was that the petroglyphs? I have been contemplating going over to Pokai Bay and doing my live. I figure the ocean has receded, the sand has receded enough at Pokai Bay on the west side that they have uncovered petroglyphs. It happens every decade or so. I figure the petroglyphs must have a lot of ancestors, yeah, Kupuna, Mana, and maybe they could enjoy some stories as well, yeah. They're just called mo'o lizards. Oh, where am I going? I don't know where I'm going anymore. That's okay. Let's get lost. We're either gonna hit a river or a mountain. Now we go this way. Sorry, I'll read the chat in a minute. I'm kind of lost right now. Evie is bone, sorry. They found Evie there too. Wow. Blair Witch. What you would call me? Huh. Wow. Yeah, no mess with the bones, huh? The bones, they get mana. One of my favorite stories, Glenn Grant, that was shared with him, was on the tour. There was this gentleman who, I think it was at Iolani Palace on one of his downtown tours. And Glenn Grant stopped. He was sharing stories, and then when he was done with the tour, this guy came up to him, and he had his hand in his pocket, yeah. And he was talking to Glenn Grant. He said, "Oh, I believe in this kind of stuff, you know, and I wanted to share a story with you." And he's like, "Okay, sure, you know." Yeah. So his story was, he went to, hold on. There you go, banyan tree. Um, Kealakekua Bay, that's where Captain Cook landed, right? On Big Island. They went over there, they were hunting. And when he was a little boy, right? The guy telling the story, he was a little boy. And so he was just exploring the area and stuff like that. And he had found a little cave. And so he starts crawling into the cave. You know, he's a little boy, he's curious, he's Niele, right? A little Kolohe, troublemaker, right? Not troublemaker, but rowdy, you know. And so he crawls into the cave, hands and knees, and then his hand comes over something in the dark that's round. And he doesn't know what it is, so he grabs it and brings it back out. Just in time that his father sees him when he exits the cave, the young boy is holding a skull in his hand, a human skull. Of course, the father gave him lickings, told him, "Put the skull back. What's the matter with you? You're not supposed to touch bones. You cannot touch bones." And then, gave him lickings and everything. So he put the bones back. And Glenn Grant's like, "Oh, wow, that's an amazing story. Thank you for sharing that." He's like, "Well, there's more." And he pulls his hand out of his pocket. He's like, and his hand is tiny. It's the size of a small child. He's like, that day, this hand stopped growing. And now that the guy was a full-grown adult, his hand that had grabbed the skull was still the size of a small child's. Yeah. Hey, Brian, I stay on Oahu right now. So, yeah. Let's see. I've never heard them called salamanders. Mo'o, lizards. I guess it's the same thing, yeah. uh, it's always It was always my dream to be an archaeologist or arc. I think that's what you meant, but it never came to fruition. But it's also an ethical dilemma to disturb resting grounds. The pursuit of history and knowledge is a great force. Johanna, very, yeah, very much so. Very much so. I've always wanted to be one too, but I don't like the politics behind it, yeah. I don't like the politics. I talked to an archaeologist and he's like, well, you can work for the federal government or you can work for private organizations. But I'll tell you, he's like, if a private organization hires you and you find human bones, well, they're not paying you to find human bones. They're paying you to call it a dog bone, right? So if you find human remains, then it costs a lot of money. Construction got to be halted and stopped. Archaeologists got to be called in. And you're looking at like a year and over $1 million because a human bone was found. So are they going to hire you if you find human bones, or are they going to hire you if you find a bone and call it a dog bone, right? That's what he told me. Turkey, I collect horror Halloween every day for me. I think I'm making props right now. You should look up Hawaii because we get plenty kind of stuff over here. We get Madame Pele, we get all kinds of stuff, yeah. There's politics everywhere you go. Okay. Oh, there's banyan trees. Nice. This is a place I want to go camping. This place is just listen. I can sleep with this. Let me turn the light off. except you can still hear the cars driving on the road. Yeah, it's still too noisy. Let's go Big Island and go camping. No any noise on the Big Island. I think I made two mods. Yeah, Pono and Jamie. Yeah. That tree's amazing. Wonder how old it is. It's probably not that old actually. The banyan trees are cool because you can see like the branches grow out, and then the branches turn into the roots, and the roots go into the ground and becomes the next tree trunk. Yeah, and it just walks and it grows like that. Yeah. Oh, just a koki. That's right. Maybe maybe another one. Maybe one other island. Yeah, you get. You said you went to be a mod, so right on. I used to look for ghosts too. Hey, I'm not looking for ghosts. I just go to places where they are to tell them stories. I tell you guys stories. I used to do ghost tours, and I noticed that every night the same spirits would come to hear the ghost stories, and they love ghost stories, you know. And so that's why I always gotta ask permission first to come in. You know, make sure they're not doing anything that I'm not meant to witness, and then we just sit down and tell stories. And sometimes, like I heard that conch shell down over there at the river earlier. Oh, that gave me chicken skin all over my face. Molokai. Oh, guarantee, but I think I might be scared of Molokai. And no worry, you can do what you want. I appreciate all my moderators for everything. You know what I mean? You guys can come, you guys can not. That's completely up to you. Yeah. Patricia, how's it? How's it? Hawaiian sister, how's it? Yeah. Croaky frogs. Yeah. I'm having a hard time keeping up with the chat, but yeah. If you guys have a question, type it a couple times if I don't see it. Yeah. Yeah. This tree is cool. Um. I cannot share stories of the area over here because that'll give it away. It's so quiet over here. No wind, no nothing. Wow. I'm trying to think of other stories I have that I didn't share. I have a lot of them. Oh, yeah, this is one of my favorites over here. I'll share it over here. One of my favorite stories. I'll say the guy's name because it takes a part in this story. There was when I was working at the group home, right? There was this guy named Michael, and he would come up. Yeah. Um, nice guy, cool guy. I liked him. An older gentleman named Michael, and so he came up to me one day. How did the conversation start? I asked him how he was doing. He said not too good, and I asked why, and he kind of started backpedaling. He couldn't say a lot of stuff because he was scared to. And so I'm like, he's like, no, 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 I cannot say anything. Pretend I never said it. I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? You can tell me. He's like, if I tell you, you go tell the case manager, and I'm gonna be in trouble. And I'm like, well, are you doing anything bad? He's like, I promise, I swear I'm not. And so I'm like, okay, I'll tell you what. This one time, I'll keep it a secret unless it's illegal. Okay? He's like, okay, fine. He pulls his shirt back, and he has bruises on his arm. Um, he has a lot of bruising on his arm, and I'm like, brah, you okay or what? He's like, I don't know how these bruises are coming, Joe. I'm trying to remember the exact things that happened because it's been a while since I told the story. He's like, I'm trying to remember. He's like, I don't know how these bruises happen. I go to sleep and I just wake up and there are these bruises on me, on his chest, on his neck, on his shoulder, like that. And it's just these dark bruises. It looks to me like he's hurting himself, and that's what he was afraid of. Well, it didn't look to me like he was hurting himself, all right? But he was afraid that I would see that and I would think he's doing self-harm, right? And so I went into the room and I looked, and like his bed isn't even by the bureau, I think. Thinking maybe he whacks his arm or whacks the stuff against the bureau accidentally in nighttime. But I'll tell you, his room is haunted, right? His room is dark, dark. Like you turn off the lights and it is pitch black. The window opens up to the Ko'ola Mountains where there's no lights, no nothing. It's just inky, dark blackness all the time when after the sun goes down. The room always had a vibe, yeah. And so he's like, I know you used to do the ghost stories, Joe. I think this might be a ghost. He's like, I don't know, but he's like, I'm kind of scared. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see what we can do. You know what I mean? And so I went over there. I looked around, turned off the lights, walked around a little bit, sat down. He had a roommate too, yeah. And roommate was fine. I went back out and I'm like, all right, Mike, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna print this out for you, all right? I'm like, your name is Michael. Let me introduce you to Saint Michael the Archangel. And so I pulled up a copy of Saint Michael the Archangel prayer, and I printed it out. I gave it to him. I put it in a little, the little paper protector, the sheets. And so I give him that, and I give him some tape to put it on the wall, right? And so he puts it right above him and he sleeps, and he's just happy and so appreciative. And he's like, thanks, Jeff. We spent a little while talking about who St. Michael the Archangel is, how he defeated the devil, all of that. I'm like, brah, this is the guy that you want to hang. This is the guy you want to call upon for help. And we prayed his prayer together and asked St. Michael to watch over him as he slept. And maybe it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. He gets 2 o'clock in the morning, he comes out to the room and he's like, he comes out of his room to the living room and he's like, Joe, um, check come, something's going on in my room. And I'm like, really? What's going on in your room? He's like, I don't know, but check come. And so I walk over and he told me when I was walking in, he's like, the paper is moving. I'm like, the paper is moving? Which one? He's like, the paper you gave me is moving by itself. Something's trying to pull it out. But the tape was blocking it. So I walk in and I stand there with my flashlight and I watch the paper is hung on the wall, the plastic sleeve, that little paper protector. And I'm watching something tugging at the corner of it. There's nothing there, but the corner of it, something is trying to pull the prayer to Michael the Archangel off the wall. And I'm watching this and I'm like, I don't want to scare the guy, right? So I just go over there and I just say the prayer to Michael the Archangel again, and it all stops. The room becomes lighter, everything is fine. And he is appreciative once more, and he sleeps through the night, and nothing happened after that, right? Nothing else happened. And like I noticed for him, he had trouble with addiction, among other things. And I had run into him a few years later, and he was clean and sober. Brother was doing great. So damn proud of him. So proud of him. Sorry, I'm trying to read the comments over here. Yeah. Get night marcher stories. I get plenty. You think someone's doing it to him, Patricia? That could be it. That definitely could be it, but it don't matter. You ask Michael the Archangel to protect and power Eddie. He got you, yeah? Hey, Suzette, how's it? Angie, how's it? How's it? Aloha. Got Keith, too? Hey, Keith. Now I'm going to have to look this up, man, because you're so such a terrible thing to be so close to history. My imagination whirls with the stories tied to such places. Johanna, you're going to love the lives. There's so many stories over here, so many legends, so many lores. I do this every week. I hope to do it more. October, I do it every night. Yeah, yeah. Aloha. Thank you guys for all the likes, for all the follows, and all that good stuff. Yeah. How is TikTok is not doing too good. TikTok is at 21% the battery, and I never have my charger. You guys on TikTok, I'm also at Hawaiian Hauntings on YouTube if the live gets cut off, yeah? And you guys want to continue, if I'm still continuing it. There was one more story I recalled while I was telling that story. It was my first day of work, and I was working with Sean. Sean was showing me the ropes. So first thing we do when we walk in, we walk around the house, make sure no more damages, note that down. Then we walk into each room, make sure everybody is home and accounted for. And as we did this, there was this other gentleman in the back room that, like, I walked in, and my coworker Sean is showing me. He's like, okay, he's here, and so I tell him hi, and he's lying in bed. This guy, and he's like lying in bed, choking, like he can't breathe, like something is. And I'm like, Sean's like, no big deal, and I'm like, brah, this guy is gasping for air like a fish, okay? And I'm like, see, why are there always noises directly next to you, but never in, come on. I'm hearing noises right on the side of me, like footsteps walking around. That's cool. Um, so I'm like, this guy okay or what? And Sean just kind of laughs. He's like, I don't know. It's your house. Do whatever you like. And so I'm talking to this guy. I'm like, are you okay? Can you breathe? Do you have medication? And he looks at me. He starts freaking out. He starts shaking his head. I'm like, can you breathe? He's shaking his head. So I call a damn ambulance. You know what I mean? Ambulance comes and takes him. No, wait. Did I call an ambulance? No, I think I drove him to the hospital, Castle Medical Center. And I waited over there for him. And then he came out. Nothing. This is just kind of how he was. You know what I mean? And then I come back a couple hours later, and brother Sean is just laughing. He's like, ha, how was your visit to the hospital? I'm like, bro, you never like tell me this or what? He's like, no. But this guy was very quiet. This guy was very shy. This guy did not know how to socialize because even though he was older than me, he was never given the chance to socialize. He was kept in the house, kept a secret. His mom kind of hid him, kind of thing. Not hid him, but his mom kept him in the house to take care of him. And his mom passed away. They had found him in the house with no water, no electricity, by himself because he didn't know what to do after his mom passed away, and they brought him to the state hospital. That was kind of his, yeah. And so I blessed his room because a lot of things were in there. It was on the ceiling. It was on the wall. I mean, I walked next door, grabbed a couple tea leaves. I grabbed my salt. I always brought my salt, my holy water, to work with me when I worked over there. And I blessed his room, and he started to get a little bit better, and he could sleep a little more through the night. And this part isn't really a ghost story, but this is one thing that I like. It's a good story to hear. It's always motivational story for me to tell, right? So this guy came over. He'd always come take his meds, and he don't say nothing. You know what I mean? He'll just comply and then go back to his room. And so finally, I start trying to talk to him, get him to engage, and he talks a little bit, and he'll joke around a little bit too. He's a very, very nice guy, but he just doesn't talk to anybody. And so one night I told him, hey, I got a challenge for you tomorrow. Do you think you can do it? He's like, well, Joe, what's the challenge? I said, I challenge you to tell one person hi. That's it. Anybody you choose. One person tomorrow. I want you to tell them hi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, but they can't be from this house or a staff. And he thought about it. He's like, I have to talk to people. I'm like, anybody you choose. You can just say hi and then run away if you want. I don't care. I'm sorry. It's like, you just say hi and run away if you want. I don't care. Just tell one person hi. And so the next night I came back into work. He was happy. He told a lady on the bus hi, and he was completely shocked that the lady told him hi back. He was like, you wouldn't believe Joe, she told me hi. And I'm like, really? Did she smile? He's like, yeah, she smiled at me. And I'm like, wow. This guy was glowing. Hey, Demonica, good night. Yeah, this guy was just glowing. He was so happy. And so we continued the challenge. And every day he would tell somebody hi until he was telling 3 people a day hi. Next thing you know, about a month later, brother man is making friends. I'm like, oh, what did you do this weekend? Oh, to the movies with so-and-so, some of the other residents. And I ate lunch with them. And we go bust up the karaoke. And he's singing karaoke. And I'm like, oh, this guy, wow. Just from one simple thing, yeah? That was cool. That's one of my favorite stories. Not paranormal, but just a story, you know. Whew. Sorry, you guys are awesome. I cannot read the chat. I gotta walk. If you guys have a question, once again, type them in. Yeah. In Halava Heights, I was arrested. Felt like clenching. Dog was so crazy. I had to get on the other side of the dog gate. He turned his head as it left. Whew. Wow. Oh, Forever Cookie. Hey, shoot me a message. I don't mind. I used to live in one house had night marchers. You know, I want to say my house had night marchers too. I don't know. Um, I went one night. Well, no, I had the Facebook thing going for a while, right? So I had people would contact me on Facebook, ask me to come bless their house, and I talked to one guy, and he said he has night marchers in his house, and he's wondering if I can come over and do some kind of help. So I'm like, sure. Where do you live? But a man lives right up the street from me. I can walk to his house in 3 minutes, kind. I'm like, you get night marchers? He's like, yeah. I'm like, frick, I probably get night marchers too then. I don't know if I'm going at the right place. I don't know. We'll find out. I do recall, I think it was my mom who shared the story when we were little about my brother would sleepwalk. Yeah. She had the little child safety gate. And he would open it up when he was an infant and he would walk. He would open that up. He'd open up the front door. He'd open up the screen, and he'd walk outside with his hand up like he was holding somebody's hand. I definitely don't know where I am now. But we'll keep walking in this general direction. I lived here for 10 years with night marchers. Yep, that's great. You just respect them. They respect you, huh? They let you know when they come down. And you know what to do. Uh, yeah, this is not the way I came. Okay. We'll go this way then. Eventually, we will find a path. Oh, boy. So, Patricia, maybe you could, So, my thoughts on night marchers is this, yeah? I'm Hawaiian, you know. I went Kamehameha. We had night marchers up there when I dormed. Um, when it comes to ghosts and spirits, there's different levels of manifestation. Sometimes you can see them. Sometimes you can hear them. Sometimes you can see them and hear them. You know, sometimes they're just there and you have no idea. Um, so my thought is if you are there with a night marcher procession where you can see and hear them, then all protocol must be followed. But from the stories I've heard where they've only manifested in one way and not the other, like you can either see them or you can hear them, usually just hearing, people don't usually die. Bro, this is getting smaller and smaller, isn't it? Oh. And so my thought is that if they're fully manifested, then they'll take you with them. But if they're not fully manifested, you might be lucky enough to get spared. Just a thought, though. I never want to take that risk. We've had night marches a few times on the live, and we don't mess around. No. I'd always tell people, no run away from the ghosts, because the ghosts can run faster than you. Yeah? But the only time you run is if you hear the drums. I was talking to the lady at Morgan's Corner today when I was working over there. She was talking about night marches, one of my stories. When I did Oahu ghost tours, me and Robert, a few weeks in a row, 7 o'clock, we get up to the Pali with the tourists. Either 7 or 8, I think it was 8. And as we're standing at the Pali, at 8 o'clock we hear boom, 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 boom. And we're looking at each other like, bro, it's time to go. I think 2 or 3 weeks, we dug out. As soon as we heard that, the drums, we dug out. Well, we found out the next time, or the other time, that it wasn't drums. It was a fireworks show at the Hilton Hawaiian Village. Echoing all the way back to Nu'uanupali. Brah. Okay. Now I'm lost. That's the river. I thought I was walking with the river on my right, on my left, but now it's on my right. Well, we'll probably find the same path we came up on then. And yes, it's right here. Yeah, okay, I know where we are now. Well, we just did a big loop. I see how easy it is to get lost in a forest. Whoop. You know what? This is the way we went out in the daytime. So we're gonna go out this way over here. I've been here once in the daytime. I don't know if it has a lot of activity. Whoop. Yeah, this doesn't look familiar to me at all. I mean, I can always pull up my GPS. In fact, I think I will. I get an extra. I have my work phone on me. So, too bad I cannot stream on my work phone, but comes in handy times like this. Huh? No, en route. Okay, that is where we are. Let us zoom in. Let us zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, we need to go back. So at least I have a little bit of a bearing of where we're at. Oh, I'm not going to show you where we're at. Matt is texting me right now. What? Are you on the live, Matt? He just texted me. He's like, on the trail you're on, you should have took a right. No, this is get lost ghost stories. Okay. No. Yeah. Yeah, right there. Ni calamai. Oh, trees falling everywhere over here. Wow, we go down to the river again. Oh, man. Oop. Oop. Yeah, Matt, I remember we came over here. No, I was at the banyan tree. The banyan tree stay behind me now. I'm walking towards the windward side. Remember, you guys found one big path. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I use Google Maps, but it's not one trail, yeah. All right. I heard that noise. Ooh, hello there, spider. We'll go back. This is the way I need to be walking anyway. Let's see, I need one, whoop. I need one compass. But before I get one compass, I need to learn how to use one compass first. Yep. You know, I'll go try something. Nah. I was gonna ask the spirits if they could lead me out. Like I hear noises and stuff and I just go towards the noise. We've had that happen a few times, huh? Had a bird fly up, stop, chirp at us, just watch us. When we fly up to when we walk up to the bird flies up another 10 feet, waits for us. Okay, let me check my GPS. Good idea, Keith. Bruh, I'm not even on the GPS anymore. Okay. We need to go that way. Yep. There you go, Faith. Too bad you don't have your dowsing rods. Yep. That's cool. Oh, we get night more TikTok on TikTok over here. Yeah, I think I know kind of maybe where we are. Maybe? No. No, this is it right here. Yeah. I want to say yeah. Yes. Oh, we just had a little exercise. All right. I learned tonight that I can't follow my sense of direction. Well, maybe I can, but I can't talk while I'm doing it. Hey, Check them again. I think we need to go that way. Oh, hello there, tree. Oh, hey there, Giddy. TikTok's about to die anyway. Oop, and there went one of my spare flashlights. Alright, we just put this way. Ooh, Melody, this is where I took you guys and Tom to. Mr. Tom Springer. Where we experienced the air spirits. Bigfoot. No, our Bigfoot is people. Okay, well, I'm on some kind of trail. Don't tell me, bro. It's at the river again. Which way are we facing now? No. Oh, okay. Oh, shucks. Did I really walk all this way? You know what? We go follow the path. I know where we are now. Yeah, the only predators we get in Hawaii are people. Oh man, sorry TikTok. Sorry TikTok, keep losing you guys. My phone keeps going. Oh, 10% battery left. So for fun, we go freeze up the whole thing. All right. Hey, we got the banyan tree again. We gonna fun it? Cause did we just? You know what? I think you just said something, Pono. Get pink markers. They have pink markers over here. Oh, look at the moon. Cool. Okay. Walk towards the moon. The moon is Makai. Walk towards the moon. Where'd the moon stay? I lost him already. Ah, there you go. To your right of the banyan tree. Okay. Look for the trail opening. Yeah. That's the one we met Jello on, yeah? What is this? Is this it? Yeah, we're here. All right, forever cookies. Mahalo. Whew. Aye, John, are we not? Well, we might go. I like go camping over here. I guess I need to bring one. I need to make it so I don't get lost. I gotta flip them around again. Sorry. Booga booga. Whew. Hot, hot, hot. There we go. Aloha kupuna. Thank you for the exercise. Mahalo for the exercise. Nice little stroll. And next time I go bring surf shorts. Go swim in the water a little bit. Hamakani blowing. Yeah, blinding. Well, that's actually on purpose. I don't like you guys see where I am right now. Oh yeah, Matt, I did this one here because I never like go on the road, yeah, because I'd rather deal with ghosts than people. So you're probably thinking, what the hell is this? Why the hell did you walk all the way down there by yourself? Carl, I am looking for my car now. Sorry. All right, let's do this. Ooh, turn that off. I get one not a light. Sorry to blind you guys. There you go. Ooh, man. So, mahalo kia kua. Mahalo na ali'i. Mahalo kupuna. Mahalo amakua. Uhane. Mahalo to all the spirits. This is a beautiful place with beautiful energy. I thank you for allowing me into your home today and into the area. Wow. I really wish I could show you guys this, but I cannot. Whoop. And I dropped the light. Okay. Flip camera, flip camera, flip camera. There you go. See, they take good care of this place, huh? They cut down the trees, they cut down all of that stuff. Tell you guys a little something. Nu'uanu Valley never used to have these trees. Nu'uanu Valley never had the reservoirs. Nu'uanu Valley was all sandalwood trees before. How's that, yeah? You could stand at the Pali Lookout and you could see every boat in the harbor. You would never guess that going into Nu'uanu Valley now. What I've heard, and this could be complete, I don't know. But what I was told, and I was shown it as well, is that when you go Kaneohe side, you come out at the Pali, right after the tunnel, you get the waterfall, yeah, Likeke Falls. That waterfall is a trickle now, and it used to be large. It used to be huge. You can go up there and you can see how high the water level used to be. But they took the water, they've diverted it to the leeward side, Nu'uanu. King Kalakaua made lo'i back here, tried to make plenty lo'i back here. With all that water, there's still the remnants of it in Nu'uanu Valley. And then, well, what you see now is a product of the river being diverted, yeah? And all the sandalwood being harvested and sold. Do you have a favorite Hawaiian flower or plant? Tea leaf plant? Yeah, these are all bamboo over here. Whoa, Cam grad. Brah, Kamehameha. That's how you can tell if one guy went grad Kamehameha, because he no say I went Cam. Anybody else that never went Kamehameha, they call him Cam. Only people who went Kamehameha, they call him Kamehameha. Yeah, this place has lots of stories too. I won't, because then you'll know where I am. See? Not much activity tonight. And they were there, I could feel them, but not much. They didn't cross the veil very much tonight. They didn't have need to manifest. Yeah? It's kind of cool when they do sometimes, but, you know, maybe not when I'm by myself. Half an hour away from the car when I know where I'm going. Sorry. Do you guys have like a scary legend? We have many. You want to talk about the cannibal dog man that used to eat people? You want to talk about Madame Pele? You want to talk about yeah, night marchers? You want to talk about the half man, half shark that would eat people as well? Um, yeah. You want to talk about the god of war who demanded human sacrifice? Hawaii is not all Mai Tais on the beach, huh? I know, it is super quiet tonight, isn't it? The leprechaun of Kauai. I don't have much experience on Kauai. I live Oahu. Um, Kauai. I know I got invited to the the Waimea Theater, to tell ghost stories back in 2014, I think. That was cool. The guy that owned the inn across the street invited me to go ghost hunting. He took me around Kauai. We got EVPs on the voice recorder. We went back to the Waimea, the theater, and we hooked it up to the sound system in the middle of the night, and we were playing it on the sound system on the speakers for the theater to see if we could hear anything. Like the story your grandma would tell you. I get plenty. I've been live for 2.5 hours, and I probably walked about 3 miles. Give me a minute. I do this every week. I share stories, so yeah, I did a whole lot of stories tonight. Let's see, what's a good story to share? What's a good classic story? Yeah, Forever Cookies. I've been doing this for I don't know how many years already. Usually I would just do them at my house on my computer, but now I've been doing them last 3 years. Every week go out. It's a great excuse. Hey, no touch me. Share a story about an evil spirit. Okay, you know, I didn't tell you the other story. This is part of a scarier story. I was talking about the group homes I used to work at. Um, oh, I saw eyeballs. It was one bug. Hold on. We'll still, we go out. Long story short, I was helping a girl who had a demonic attachment. It spoke in Latin to me. It invaded my dreams. It affected people around me, and it was really scary. It was like everywhere I would look, 666 everywhere, everywhere. Like 4 or 5 times every time I leave the house, a license plate would have 666. So the ghost after some talking to the girl and watching her get possessed and talking to the spirit and I don't know the spirit, call it a demon, whatever you want, but it called itself Lilith. And yeah, it said it was very old and it was Lilith. At the group home that I worked at, yeah, while this was all going on, we had this gentleman come in, new guy, a new resident that I was warned about because this guy is a psychopath. I mean, he's a sociopath. This guy lies. This guy pretends everything. Sorry, I'm trying to put this down because my arm's sore. This guy lies about everything, and so I meet him. He's also a devil worshiper. Yeah, he's a Satanist and worships Satan. Not the kind where he worships himself. He worships Satan. So he came to me and he introduced himself to me and said he does church and all of that, and he's active. And he got kicked out a few years prior for dancing naked on the roof and doing satanic rituals in his room. Put it that way. Um, at the house, the one with the one that was haunted by the girl, the lady who died there, he was in that house. And the first time I met him, I started my shift, and he came in as I started my shift. So this guy is sitting on the ground, you know, talking with me, telling me whatever he wants me to think, and I'm just like, all right, you can say whatever you want, but I read your file, buddy. You know, try to trick me all you want, it's fine, I don't care. Um, then he sees my laptop, and he's like, oh, can I ask you a question? I'm like, yeah, sure, what's up? And he looks at me, and he's like, can you Google something for me? And I'm like, okay, well, it depends on what you want, but what do you want me to Google? He says, Lilith. I want you to Google Lilith. And then he starts like, turns around, starts walking away with a little like laughter. He's like, you know who that is, don't you? And I'm like, how the hell does this freaking guy, you know what I mean? So I stop him. I'm like, hey, hold on, hold on, hold on. Come on, come back, come back. I said, why do you think, where'd you come up, where'd that name come from? He's like, well, she told me. She said that you know her. And she told me to say that. And she told me to do things. And I'm like, she told you to do these things? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, okay. But just let you know, she's not a good spirit. She's a bad one. He's like, yeah, well, she promised me that if I said that and do whatever she says, then she'll grant me all these favors and she'll do this and she'll do that. And, you know, she made him all of these promises. He's like, he looks at me, he's like, do you think she'd keep them? I'm like, well, as far as I know, she's a demon. So they usually don't keep their promises. And if they do, it's in really weird, roundabout, messed up ways. Like you hear stories of genies where you wish to fly and you start flying, but in reality you're in a coma, you know, and it's in your dreams that you're flying, but your dream was granted, right? Your wish was granted. And yeah, that's kind of when it occurred to me that this side of the field, here's a guy who's a sociopath who's been in and out of the hospital practically his whole life for decades. He could kill me legitimately. He could stab me, and he'd go back to the state hospital for another 10 years, get a slap on the wrist, and then go back into the group home program again. This guy would have no consequences for killing me, for killing one of my children, for any of that stuff. You know, that part was really, really scary to me. So yeah. Yes, I'm on Oahu. This is not Papakolea or Maunawili. I cannot say where this is, yeah. Sorry, I'm reading the comments now. The spirits will let him know if they don't want him. Yeah. I have spirit devices and stuff to talk. Hey, Corrine, how's it? But I don't usually use them unless I want to communicate something to them or have them communicate with me. I haven't gotten any of that impression tonight that they wanted to communicate with me. Yeah. And so that's fine. If I feel that, I'll let them know and I'll turn it on and we'll talk story. I'm going to flip my camera again for the anonymity of this place. And I'm sorry, blind you guys again. There we go. Oh, spooky, yeah. Spirit box devices. Yeah. I have the one that comes across as radio frequencies that cycles through the radio frequencies really fast. I have ones that do a random set of phonetics really fast. that you can't guess which one it is, or and it will say words and stuff like that too. I will show you guys this. I don't think he doesn't know where it is, so I think it's fine. But what a scene that is. It doesn't look as good on the camera as it does in real life. Yes, I've run into night marchers before, but we just leave. Yeah, it's a respect thing. It's not a fear thing. If they ain't gonna be walking around, they're doing their thing. We're not meant to be part of it or witness it. Yeah. So yeah, I can do this now. There we go. Oh, wow. Uh, PSB or the PS7 or look up the Frank box, the Spirit box. There's apps you can get on your phone. I prefer those because they're a lot more convenient. Yeah. What did you first hear about Lilith? Me that she actually worshipped in Wiccan, and she actually worshipped Lilith because Lilith is a not a bad one, but some people say she's bad, some people say she isn't. To each their own. I don't believe, for number one, I don't believe this was actually Lilith. Lilith is a serpent in the Garden of Eden. Demons like to play big, yeah. It might have been a Lilem, a daughter of Lilith, but a succubus, that kind of stuff, but it wasn't Lilith. And I think that this manifestation of it, what it was trying to do, it was actually killing this girl. Yeah. They're talking to find out what and why you're there. I know they're probably over there doing their thing like, who's this freaking baboose over here? What is he doing telling ghost stories? The tourist people will never stop, huh? Uh, it was a little more than a trickster, though. I went to Bobby Mackey's while I was in the middle of this case in Tennessee or Kentucky or whatever. Yeah, Kentucky. And it wasn't good. It kind of messed me up for a while. I'll share that story a little bit later. Probably at the ending of October. Oh, rah. You know. That's one of those stories. If I were to tell it in its entirety, it takes about an hour. Oh, hello there. Get the light coming. So before you guys see everything around again. Oh wait, yeah, there we go. Nope, there's just me. Yeah, the sky is very pretty tonight. It's great, man. I don't know. Long weekend. Maybe I'll do another live. We'll see. I love doing this stuff, but I try to have life outside of this too. Yeah, it's not good to do ghost stuff 24/7 or every day. Kind of start to lose your mind a bit. I don't know if you call me brave. You see, it's this shirt. This is my friend's shirt. He gave him to me. I can't. How can you be brave when you get all your guardians walking along with you? You're brave if you're by yourself, and I always get my guardians with me. So, yes, there are special times to tell Bobby Mackey. Thank you. TikTok is almost done, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and charge the phone up. We're at 1%. I'll see you guys on TikTok later. Have a good night. Aloha. How do I do this? Hey, right on, Jordan. Thank you. I love doing this. Bro, what is all TikTok? Yeah, you guys are awesome. Love you guys. Thanks for all the support. I'm also gonna do my Patreon link probably when I get home. Yeah, I would. I don't like to ask for donations or anything like that, but I do need money so I can go and do lives at other places in October. Oh, I'm so excited. Can you imagine doing a live up in Mauna Kea? Standing on the top of the world telling stories about Michael the Archangel or something else like that. You know what I mean? That is just, that gives me chicken skin just thinking about it. I'm so excited. But yeah, I'm going to get it done. Yeah. I'll put up the Patreon page. I know I meant to a week or two ago, but yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Have a good week. Aloha. Yeah, how do I do this?